as it turns out, our last game, Project Too Many Chefs, didn't turn out to be quite the smash hit we had hoped it would be. I was hoping that by giving players from across the world the tools to create games with each other, they would use teamwork and ingenuity to create something unique. Well, as it turns out, when you give people the tools for unlimited creation, they just create new ways to destroy each other.
Dude, if I find Tails the Fox sexy, that's my prerogative. Don't force your Judeo-Christian heteronormative views on me, man.
He's a little boy. He's a little boy. Miles Tails
I just
Prower
wanted to make
is a
an
little
educational
child.
game
He's
for
like
my
10 years
kids.
old.
But now I have to kill all you bastards!
It's like the Spider-Man comics always say, with great power comes a nuclear holocaust.
Juggalos for love!
So much fucking blood on my hands. There's so much blood on my hands!
So what have I, as a businessman, learned from this? Well, I think the first misstep was giving the players too much freedom. And the other noticeable misstep was giving away the game's source code for free. If we had given gamers a little less of what we had promised, it would have been a great game. And if we had given them nothing we promised, it would have been a bestseller. Which brings me to today's topic. Marketing your game. My mentor, Peter Molyneux at Loinhead Software, is the master of marketing. Remember way back when he talked about Fable on the first Xbox? Remember all of the innovative, groundbreaking features he promised us on such a grandiose scale?
With my game Fable, I hope to answer a question. What would happen if a dream began to dream and anything that could happen already did?
Did we all get excited? Without question. Did we buy it? About 5 million copies. Did it deliver on any of its promises? Not a one. But more importantly, did we buy it? Sure, Petey could have kept his mouth shut and not overpromised on his game.
Alright, I'm gonna come right out and say it. If you buy Fable for the Xbox, you will never die. You will watch your children and your children's children wither and die before your very eyes, and the heat death universe will come and go, leaving only you, your Xbox, and Fable.
But because he made those promises, we are still talking about that old game to this very day. And any press is good press. As developers, we need to learn how to promise first and figure out how to deliver second. And really, who does it hurt to go out on a limb every once in a while? Maybe you made some sort of console with a weird gimmick, and halfway through its lifespan you realize it's horrible and broken. Well, you stop making games for it, you take your profits, and you funnel them into your next idea. By the way, I can't wait to play Batman again on the Wii U. It's not like the video game industry is your wife and will get bitchy at you for constantly breaking your promises. Am I right, guys?
Reload last save, Halberd Studios and the Melinda Bowl Foundation would like to apologize for the crass remarks of Mr. Dirk Halberd. His views do not reflect our own.
It's not like the video game industry is your wonderful wife and will get understandably upset at you for your constant deception. I'm sorry, honey. So now let's create a marketing juggernaut. First, take a very simple, basic, nebulous idea that is totally within your means to make. But also make sure it's the best idea you've ever had. Let's take some random nouns and some exciting adjectives and put them into our marketing simulation matrix. So what have we got? A sword fighting game with unprecedented freedom, unique controls, realistic physics, infinite replayability, and a sassy genie. So now, let's look at our finished product. Well, at least it has sword fighting. The next step is to put together a marketing package by releasing action-packed screenshots that show off your game's graphical wonderment. Now, we could invest valuable time and money in an animation department and help clean up the overall quality of our game. But instead, let's just spend $200 on last year's copy of Photoshop. Or get it free on the Bay of the Pirates. Arr! My buddy, Randy Pitchfork, made a game called Colonial Marines, and we all know how people get excited for the good old days of 1776.
I wanted to make a game that encapsulated the tension and the mood of the original Alien franchise, but I didn't want to have to do any work.
So he just fired up his MacBook Pro on the way over to his meeting with Game Informer, and voila! 4 million pre-orders. Next up, how do you milk that cash cow known as the 18 to 34-year-old male demographic? Sex appeal. When Jonathan Wynn created his game Braid, it didn't sell too well. People hated it. And why? It was ugly. So when he made the sequel, Tom Braider, He ditched ugly old Tom for Lara Croft. He supercharged his game with sex appeal by taking the focus off of the stubby, Frodo-haired Cabbage Patch Kid in a suit and putting it all towards the sexy new sidekick. Younger? No younger? Ah, there we go.
Below last save, Halberd Studios and the Melinda Ball Foundation would like to apologize for the crass remarks of Mr. Dirk Halberd. His views do not reflect our own.
Now, I know some guys that spend $17.99 a month for Barely Legal on the internet, and they don't look half as good as this piece of jailbait. Tom's not even on the cover anymore. By the way, you can actually spend only $425 for 2 years if you buy the package deal.
Below last save, Halberd Studios and the Melinda Ball Foundation would like to apologize for the crass remarks of Mr. Dirk Halberd. His views do not reflect our own.
So now that we've promised the moon, we need the capital to make much smaller, cheaper approximations of the moon that we can sell for $60 a piece. But don't worry, when a game sounds this good, who wouldn't want to jump in on this? Next week, I'll teach you how to fleece court investors. Until then, sayonara.